Okay guys, welcome back to Dr. Lou's Low Carb Diet. I'm Dr. Lou. Now, today we're looking at electrolytes and specifically what they mean on a keto diet. Stay tuned. Okay guys, so electrolytes, what are they? Well, basically you're looking at ions, and ions are just simply atoms with a charge. Now, they have different types of charges, so you have negative and positive, and it depends on which one you're looking at. And that's as scientific as we're going to get into it. So, the main idea behind them is that they're not just being ions, they can also have jobs where they help do other things. For example, chloride, which is the element chlorine, you can use that for your hydrochloric acid in your stomach. But also at the same time, you understand it has an electrolyte job where its charge is utilized in your central and your peripheral nervous systems. Now, this is very simple and straightforward. So let's have a look at the main information. There are 5 that are the top important electrolytes. We're looking at the top 3. They're very important and what happens when you don't get enough of them. So here we go. The first one we're looking at is sodium. So basically with sodium, you understand you're going to get an increase of sodium needed on the keto diet, especially in the first week. Now, why is that? Simply because as you lower your insulin, your sodium drops. And it's as simple as that. There's not anything more complicated. You send a signal, insulin low, drop sodium. So what happens is you notice that sodium and water go together. So when your sodium goes, water goes as well. Also on top of that, when you burn your glycogen, you lose water. So it's important to have water with these electrolytes. And so as this time goes on, you'll understand that you're going to need to drink water with your electrolytes or your supplements, and that's exactly how it works. So again, once the kidneys have excreted the sodium, you're going to need to replace it. So you need sodium. Now, on top of that, when you're losing a lot of water, you're losing lots of other things as well. So all of these need to be replaced. So sodium is easily replaced. As you can see here on the picture, you can see table salt. Now, table salt actually contains 2 electrolytes. You've got sodium and you have chloride. Now, chloride is not going to be mentioned massively in this video because it's actually the number 5 one. But it has a role akin with sodium. So what you understand is that as you obviously start to consume your table salt, you're getting sodium and you're getting your chloride. So very effective. So if you have table salt, you're salting them all out. Those 2 are there. Sodium and chloride, you've sorted out. So what's the main idea? The reason why you need to take this electrolyte is because it's essential. Most people don't understand that sodium actually is your thought pathways as such. So you do an electrical impulse and the sodium is the one that builds up to fire it. Now, when you build up to, say, in your mind, when you look at something and go, is that, for example, is that thing, good looking? You will build up in your mind a thing either to fire yes or no. That's as simple as your mind works, but in a massively more complex way with a massive amount of neurons that all interlink. Now, what happens is that if you don't have it, you'll get headaches. And so if you have it, you help prevent headaches, fatigue, and keto flu. So overall, keto flu is massively avoided, or can be pushed towards avoiding as long as you have a lot of sodium. Now, sodium, as I said, is the number 1 electrolyte. You also need a combination of the others to prevent signs or symptoms of keto flu. So, moving on, let's get on to the second largest one. We're going to look at actually is potassium. Now, you can see it's the 3rd one here. It's actually the second most important one seen as. Now, potassium is actually the other side of sodium's job. So when you build up to fire your action potential, potassium comes back in or goes back out to help lower the charge. And so it basically brings stability back into those pathways. So what does that mean? It just simply means you need potassium like you need sodium, and it's all about having a fantastic working, functioning nervous system, so that way you've got no problems. And that's why you feel bad, because it's not because you're getting a lack of sugar, it's not because you're getting a lack of anything that's causing these issues. That compounds, yes, but it's not what gives you keto flu. It's just the lack of these minerals. You need to have these electrolytes. They're very important. So jumping on again here, you can see we're going to look at why. So heart health and muscle. So critical So you have it critical for fluid balance, and you can have sources in avocados, spinach and salmon. So again, you can get these electrolytes from these food sources as well. Salt is very easy to get, you can add it to your food, while these now you have salmon, spinach and avocados. That is going to give you potassium, and that is the second most important one. So let's have a look now. You've got obviously heart health and your muscles, so you can understand they have a very important function, and it's 100% needed, or again, you're going to be feeling those cramps or issues that are going to come because you don't have it. Now, jumping over here, you can see number 3, we have magnesium. So magnesium is relaxation and energy. It supports muscle function, calms you and helps with sleep. You can get it from sources of pumpkin seeds, almonds and dark leafy greens. So guys, that's really important to understand the 3 electrolytes, the main ones, and how you can get them from food sources. Okay guys, so that's the main idea there. Now, practical solutions. So how do we get the signs and symptoms of a lack of these electrolytes? So have a look here. You have low sodium, magnesium and potassium levels. What happens? You get muscle cramps. So you'll be getting muscle cramps. You know what cramps are like, they're not pleasant. Muscle twitches and tightness and spasm. Sources potentially, the source for this is potential low magnesium or potassium. So if you're getting cramps, spasms, tightness, you know what you're probably most likely lacking. And yes, always you should visit your family doctor or your GP, and they know what you're like, and they can even do a blood test to tell you exactly where you're lacking. So moving on, next one, dizziness and brain fog. So dizziness with brain fog, lightheadedness, brain fog and fatigue. Source, low sodium and potassium. Yes, they work both in your brain. They're firing action potentials and rebalancing them. So you need to understand the reason why you feel terrible when you're having that is because you're actually having problems with what's you. All those energy, all that thing firing on your nervous system, that is where you are. And so you are feeling terrible because you are affecting that. So next you have heart palpitations, irregular heartbeat, fluttering sensation, and that's a source of potentially low potassium. So again, it could be low potassium. Palpitations of the heart, it could get people panicky. They do a little flutter, and so it feels a little bit strange when your heart is pumping or a little kind of making like an irregular beat. These palpitations are something you should, try to help to solve, or go to your doctor immediately and tell them, and they'll be able to test you and say, yeah, you're lacking in this. Okay, so next, let's got sleep disruption. So insomnia, unrestful sleep, a source, potentially low magnesium. So now you have a low in magnesium, you may have problems sleeping. So again, when you feel you can't get to sleep, you're unfitful, you maybe wake up a lot, this could be magnesium. Now moving on, we want to understand what are the practical solutions to prevent this. So here we go. You've got sea salt, liberally salt your food, add a pinch of water. So you can get water, add a pinch to water, and you can just drink it. And that will obviously give you a little bit of extra sodium. If you feel better, you know that's the problem. Hydration, so plain water isn't enough. Without minerals, water will dilute your system. So you need water and the electrolytes. So whole food sources, nutrient-dense vegetables, get minerals naturally. Very good, awesome. And then you have bone broth. So the main idea here is that you can see bone broth is a natural mineral source rich in collagen and electrolytes. So they're the best ways, obviously, to naturally get your electrolytes. If you look at some of my meal planners, you can go and get supplements, and you can get a vitamin and mineral supplement, you can get an electrolyte supplement, you can get a keto gummy, which helps with lots of other things you need on keto and help even suppress appetite. And at the same time, you can go for a vitamin C as well. And I only say that additional because vitamin C is important, because frequent urination, and vitamin C is water based, so it doesn't get stored in your fat. So it's very important to understand you need that as well. So overall, guys, you can see that's the electrolytes quickly. You can see that they're very important. You need them for your body. The other fourth one, so calcium, and the fifth one is chloride. So we looked at chloride, you get that, and calcium as well. So calcium can be used in that sense as well. So you have it as an electrolyte as well, guys. So guys, I hope you liked the video. Please, any questions, pop them in the comments, thumbs up, and subscribe. Okay, guys, I'll see you on the next one.